Okay. Good luck.
What do you mean good luck? You're in the recording too.
Did he do it?
I believe in you.
Did he-
Hey, you got this, champ.
Thank you.
Yeah. Don't worry,
Podcast
buddy.
time. It's podcast time, everybody.
Bada
Get
bada
into
bada
Terraria.
bada bada
No!
bada 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 bada.
Bryson's
Anyway.
playing Terraria.
Anyway, besides
What?
the cacophony of
I'm
sounds,
folding laundry.
Are you really?
I'm actually folding laundry right now. Yes.
What
Anyway,
kind of laundry?
welcome to Scott Talking episode 6, where you might have been able to catch on. I'm not really sure. We have two voices that aren't mine and Taylor's.
And not in my
Hello,
head.
What?
Bryson's.
How many are in your head, Taylor?
No, you're not in my head. I can see you.
No, how many are in your head?
You
Not these two.
Anyway.
Are you saying you don't hear me whisper in your ear at night? I've been doing
That's
this.
you?
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy. I thought that was you.
What?
What?
Yes, he's a little slow.
Of course.
Anyway,
Anyway.
I thought that was
Welcome
you.
to Scott Talking episode 6.
yeah. Before we get into
Episode
six.
today's subject, do you two want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'm a guy.
Ooh.
That's about it.
What's your star sign?
I think a Cancer.
That fits.
He has
Fuck
cancer.
you. I don't know what that means.
I mean, it makes sense to me.
I think it means he's a crab.
Look, I get that you
Dungeness
know
crab.
about psychics and fake psychics and
dude.
all that, but I don't care, dude.
It's gonna be a banger. Look out for my college essay about fake psychics.
You're
It's gonna be huge.
I'm
Bryson
not a
was telling me about
fake
it last night.
psychic. I'm a real psychic.
You're a fake psychic.
Guys, I read tarot cards.
It's
Oh.
trot cards.
The tower
It's trot
you
cards.
will build in
Yes.
Minecraft.
It's not.
Only real psychics would know this.
The R isn't until
he's
after
got you
the
there.
A.
Trot cards.
Trot cards.
It's okay. Bryson's dyslexic.
It's better than
Tarot.
Gwent.
It's tarot.
Lily, you're
No,
giving
it's
them too
tarot.
much
Wait, Do
information.
you actually think it's tarot?
Oh, sorry. They're gonna find you.
But that's the
Okay,
only way
that
that makes
was-
sense. Is it can't be trot because the
No, it's tarot.
holy shit. I know it's tarot. But
I
Bryson
thought
said
that it
it's
was
trot.
Trudeau.
The R is
I don't know
after
if you
the A.
do
No,
know.
that's Trudeau. That's the governor of Canada.
Justin
Yeah.
Trudeau. No, he resigned.
Former governor of
He's resignated.
He
God.
resignated.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Welcome to Scott Talking for the
Yeah.
3rd time.
yeah, welcome to our
Hello.
FNaF podcast.
No,
where we talk about
we're
everything
talking to
but
our
FNaF.
audience. Our big audience.
Our big
Oh, my
audience
bad.
of damn
Welcome-
and very few
welcome-
us.
Big audience.
Anyway,
Oh,
Our
hi.
big audience.
today's subject, we're discussing
We
realized
Due to popular demand, we are covering the actual events in pseudo chronological order.
we're explaining the FNaF timeline, but it's like really weird.
It's
And-
our version, which is better.
And we realized that if we were left unchecked, Taylor and I would spew out words in different parts of the timeline. So we have two people here who know nothing about the FNaF timeline, or at the very least know very little, to
Indeed.
keep us on the right track, keep us focused.
That's the idea.
What
Now,
I'm getting
will
is
that
that it's
actually happen,
hardcore
or will they just not
Minecraft,
care?
but with superpowers.
No, that's
Bryson?
the insanity SMP.
Oh, okay.
You didn't even get an invite, Bryson. I don't know why you're talking about
Shut
it.
the fuck up.
No,
I thought
don't
he
be
was
mean to me.
invited, and then
he
I
was
was
the
invited.
first one invited.
He's being mean to me.
I see. Anyway, shall we begin, Taylor? Shall we do a deep dive?
Where do you want to start?
Well, not at Secret of the
Wherever
Moon.
the hell the lore starts, man. I don't know.
See, that's a loaded question.
It's not a loaded question. So
It's a loaded
go
question.
to like around, it's something like 1973 or whatever, 1974.
1973.
Yes,
It's something like that.
when Fredbear's Family Diner is opened by one Henry Emily.
Wait. Quick question.
Yes.
Game not created in 1973.
No.
That's crazy,
No, this
right?
is lore.
No, this is the
Okay,
lore.
oh,
We're going
okay,
over
yeah.
the FNaF lore.
It's not
sorry.
like none
Yeah.
of this is real.
No, this. Well, I mean, it's real in game, but it's not real like real
Okay.
events that happen.
Okay, cool. Because I
You
was
should-
really
It's
confused
real
for a
to
second.
me.
You should
It's real
Cla-
to me.
there's not a lot of information on things that happened before 83, before the first child dies. Most of the important plot points are children dying.
Yeah,
I
So before
forget
that,
that's what
everything's
this
a little
is.
bit fuzzy.
it's a little abstract because it's
So
relatively speaking
Freddy right now
unimportant.
at this point is a human boy.
Freddy is
No.
not a thing.
It's a restaurant
So-
chain.
So we'll get into
Yeah.
this because
No, just one restaurant.
because they open Fredbear's Family Diner, and this is how Henry, Emily, and William Afton meet. And you guys know
Yeah.
Golden Freddy? You ever heard of Golden Freddy?
No.
Okay, well it's actually
What?
Fredbear.
Okay.
And
Fun fact: it was never meant to be Golden Freddy. In the game files,
It's
he was
Yellow
known as
Bear.
Yellow Bear.
yeah,
Let me do my fun facts, Ben.
yeah,
You're
that's from a Gibby
ruining
horror
my-
homestead.
No, I just know this information. Quit. You're derailing me. You are disenfranchising
Mom
me.
and Dad, stop fighting.
Shut up, child.
I like how you all cut out on my end.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway.
so there was two animatronics at Fredbear's Family Diner. There's Fredbear,
Terrible idea.
the titular Fredbear, and there was Spring Bonnie. Or I don't know if there's. I think it's just Spring.
There's
Bonnie.
no. We just call it Spring Bonnie. They were never they never clarified what it was
Was there
called.
summer or fall bunny?
Why?
No, the reason they're called Spring Bonnie is because there was a
She
type
springs?
of technology called spring locks, and if anything went wrong with them, they would puncture your skin and cause you to bleed out and die in the suit.
What?
Pretty
Wait,
much.
okay, there
Okay,
are
so
people in it? I thought it was an animatronic.
Well,
okay, so there was this
So
technology.
it's a suit that you can wear, but then it transforms into an animatronic, and they're held back by springs. And then if they
Ah.
fail, the animatronic locks down. I know that part.
This was
He's
yeah,
Oh,
because
okay,
I
okay,
talk
okay.
about it a lot because it's my favorite part of the series.
People getting mushed into a suit.
more like
No, the idea of like
poked.
walking around in an Iron Maiden because people wanted to cut costs up in the higher ups. I think that's funny.
Okay, here
Oh,
we
yeah.
go.
So the
You guys are gonna get
endoskeleton-
copyright
yeah.
strike.
So the spring lock suits, so basically the point of them is like you can have an endoskeleton inside, and that controls the animatronic. The endoskeleton is the animatronic, and you can take that out and you can put a person inside of it, and it's supposed to retrofit both.
Yes, and at some point, like go figure, there was an accident, and someone
Wow.
got hurt
But
a
that's
lot
years later.
at some point. No,
Yeah, it is. That's years
Not
later. We're
years
still in
later.
the 70s. That's like
no,
a
okay.
decade
What else?
later.
What else do you have to talk about? That's like the next like big thing.
No, it's not.
What else happens?
Well, after the success of Fredbear's Family Diner, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and therefore Fazbear Entertainment opens, with the classic animatronics, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and of course Freddy. But Fredbear Family Diner still exists under Fazbear Entertainment.
And then someone gets hurt a lot, really badly,
Yes.
due to spring lock failure.
Yes. Well, potentially. So we
What
have
do you
to
mean
go to
potentially?
19
Now, what do you
so
mean by that?
in 1983, there's this kid who's not really named. And
Yeah.
yeah, he's just referred to as crying child because he cries a lot. Because he's bullied and tortured and humiliated. That's basically
Wait,
all.
wait,
of
wait.
FNaF
Probably a
Lore.
reason.
Yeah.
No.
The kid is probably a loser.
Yeah,
He
his
has,
name
like,
might be
friends
Ralph,
and
so
stuff.
you know.
Oh yeah, that's true. It might be Ralph.
Well, so it
that's
makes
not
sense
until
why he was bullied. Well, we don't have to like go in order of like what we know at the time.
That's true. But crying child, his brother and his brother's stupid friends decide, oh, this kid who is scared of the animatronics, let's put his head in the animatronic's mouth, and the animatronic's head just like clamps down and crushes his little boy head, and now he is dead.
Does this
Are
happen in
the other little
87?
boys?
83.
What the fuck, dude? There are two
That's-
bites?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I said when I figured that out on my own with no
2
help.
bites of 87.
No.
No.
So okay.
What happens in
close.
83?
It's close.
So in 83, the kid gets chomped.
Yes.
Now this
He
is a
must have
point of
been
contention
delicious.
in the events of FNaF 4, and I don't think anyone truly knows if FNaF 4 is from the perspective of Crying Child or of Michael Afton.
What are you talking about?
Well,
I don't know.
some people think that like the main FNaF 4 gameplay, right? Like each
Oh,
night
that yes.
is potentially Michael Afton, or it's Crying Child at night before the events of the mini games between the nights.
I am of the mind that it is Michael. I presumably actually like having nightmares.
I don't think it makes sense for it to be Crying Child from a lore standpoint, simply because like
No.
you guys are getting into
That-
like the convoluted bits of the timeline because everything's fuzzy until major shit starts happening. But all of FNaF 4
Yeah.
is kind of a blur.
FNaF 4 was like throwing shit at the wall and hoping something stuck.
Hoping to God.
Wait,
we
so
could
was
figure it
there
out.
a FNaF 1 and 2 and 3? Or did
but
they
they
just
come
skip
af-
straight to 4?
No, they come after.
Yeah, but all of them are the games are non-linear.
It goes 4,
Oh,
2,
that's
1,
ridiculous.
3.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
cool.
4,
So
2,
4
1,
is
3.
probably the one that most people played, right?
What?
4 is probably the one most people played, right?
The first like
3 was
five.
three was like the peak of hype in terms of the
okay.
series.
yeah.
That did carry into 4. That does not mean that 4 is a very beloved game.
No, 4 is
Oh, okay.
despite it being the scariest, it's not necessarily considered the best.
It used fear in a very artificial way,
Yeah.
and it comes off as cheap.
But also, in 83, we have 2 other major events. So William Afton, or better known as Purple Guy, everyone knows Purple Guy.
Oh, purple guy, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
Because he's purple.
he has
and British.
and yeah, the Afton family.
Oh,
is
I didn't know he was
British.
British.
Yeah,
He has
Plot twist.
3 children.
not really. 3
And-
children
3
Wow.
children.
and a presumably wife.
No, he has a wife.
No.
What
Just-
evidence do we have
Just
of
the
that?
children.
Ballora.
It's kind of like a Jesus scenario.
That could just be a woman. That could just be a woman. You never
No,
know.
I forget her name, but like, she like left him.
Wife number
She
one.
like abandoned him or died. It's kind of hard
Or
to
both.
tell. Yeah,
Abandoned him and then died?
What I'm actually getting at, I'm joking. I was joking, but like what I'm getting at is like there's no way of telling how in the picture she is at this point.
yeah. Unless
Which
Fair.
Could
unless you
contribute-
buy into the Immortal and the Restless.
Single
sure.
father is rare.
Which you could like I just think that helps contribute to the fact that William was very much under stress at this point in his life,
Because
and he had a hard time keeping track of 4 adolescents.
3 adolescents.
3. Sorry.
Because there's
William's
that
a bit of an
spoilers?
who we
adolescent.
know is Murked.
No, I just miscounted. What?
So there's Crying Child, who we know he got murked. He's done. He's donezo. He did the big adios. He's dead.
Yep.
Behind
Didn't go to heaven
after
though.
he's kind of stuck existing.
We'll have to. Oh god, we have to explain Remnant.
Yeah, but that's not until later.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
We have to get into the sister location because this also happens around the 83 mark.
That's my goat.
And then in Circus Baby's Pizza World, which is a side project of Afton's where everything is the technology is like so much more advanced.
You missed a child death, I think.
No,
What?
I haven't missed a child death. I'm leading into a child death.
Charlie.
Yeah, that they all happened in 1983.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure this
Why?
happens before Circus Baby's Pizza World gets made.
It's hard to tell. It doesn't really matter.
We should probably just go over it to
We
help
will.
explain
We
why
will.
William. Well, why is William doing this? Because
Well, because
he.
there's 2 kids that are dead.
Okay,
why
but
I'm explaining
you
the
only went
2.
over one.
That was to bring up Pizza World to go into his other kid's death.
Why wouldn't you just talk about the death before the Pizza World?
Because okay, so William Afton creates Circus Baby's Pizza World. All the animatronics are like hyper complicated, and one of them, the main one, Circus Baby, has basically like a massive fucking claw on her chest, and she is set to basically snatch a child whenever she's left alone, causing William's daughter Elizabeth to die. So he has 2 kids dead. And
Why
one of
would
them
he
was his
make
fault.
it like that?
Yeah. Why would he do that, Ben?
Because after the death of his first son, he's now experimenting
Death
with
of
how
my
to
son.
prolong the life, or like he's trying to figure out immortality, basically,
Oh,
and toying with life. I
That's
don't
impossibility.
think the events of the Silver Eyes trilogy need to come into effect. I don't think.
We don't need to talk about the Silver Eyes.
But basically, now 2 of his kids are dead, and he's going fucking bananas.
gonna-
bananas.
Well,
Cut you off because I need to talk about this.
I was leading into it.
At some point, I want to say something. You've been talking the whole time. At some point, probably drunk. In many ways, William did blame his partner Henry Emmerly for the death of his
Wait.
first son. What?
His partner Henry?
Business partner.
Business partner, yeah. They
Business partner. I was like, oh, I thought he
Yeah.
had a wife.
he does probably.
He does. The reason his first son died involved another spring lock failure in the Fredbear Mount
Man, they really
area.
got to figure that out.
Well, because the
Yeah,
spring locks
well,
were the
Because
creation
he
of
was
Henry.
crying. He was crying like a little bitch, and that moistened him up, and that caused the springs to get loose.
Yes.
Okay, I get
And
that.
yes, Henry was the creator of the spring lock technology. He was always more on the mechanical side, and then in terms of like the business, and William focused more on the like actual like business part of it.
He was more of a businessman, but he also built robots,
Yeah.
and they were hyper
That's true.
complicated for the 80s.
Yes, absolutely.
Like,
This is very much a sci-fi series.
yeah, because like,
Mhm.
It's important to keep that in mind.
because like, Circus Baby can like dispense ice cream and shit.
That's awesome.
The animatronics
And
have
that's
life
that's
of their
big.
own. This is huge.
So anyway, he kills Henry's only daughter, in revenge apparently,
Charlotte
Um,
Emily.
Okay.
Charlotte Emily, and that
Charlotte Emily.
that leads Henry to kind of go into hiding for a while. We are not going to hear from him for a while. Put him to the side. Put a pin in it.
Okay, but like moments after, so the reason he was able to was because Charlotte was locked out in the pouring rain outside of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and they had this little thing called the security puppet, and it basically kept, if you had a certain wristband, it kept kids in the restaurant. Well, Charlotte was locked out, and the puppet snuffs out some trickery and goes, "Ooh,
Yeah.
time to go investigate." So, like literally breaking down because it is raining outside, and
Like heavily raining.
Yeah.
Like crazy rain.
Okay.
I'm
And the
pretty,
puppet is a
And
very
you forgot to
frail
bring an umbrella.
figure.
it's a very slim, very creepy looking.
It's not that creepy. You're just a coward.
That's also possibly true, but
It's okay.
breaking down the rain finds the remains of Charlotte Emily dead next to a bunch of trash cans, and you can see the tire track. This isn't a mini game. This is like a Atari style
Yes.
mini game. You can see the tire tracks
One of the
away.
best mini games, in my opinion.
It's up there
So she was
It's up
just
there.
locked outside. So how is she dead now?
because
Because Henry killed her.
yeah, no,
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
no,
William
Henry did
killed
not
her.
kill his own daughter.
Henry did not kill his own daughter. Well, that'd be crazy. That'd be kind of crazy.
Henry did not kill his own
That
daughter.
would be
That
weird.
was
I
William.
was about
fan
to. I was
game.
like,
That's a good fan game. We should do that.
Which one?
Henry killing.
Oh, you
His
want to
daughter.
create that?
Yeah, let's make a fan game.
Okay, maybe. I've thought about it. Anyway,
We have
so
been thinking about it.
William murks Charlotte. The puppet like clings on to Charlotte's like dead body, and somehow, we'll explain it later, Charlotte's basically soul gets transferred to the puppet.
And the same thing happens for the crying child, under slightly different circumstances, but I think it's important to note the reflection of these two characters. As children die, they become less important to the plot, sort of, like, kind of.
Okay.
Except
So,
for
like the first
one, kind of.
Except for one, yeah. But it's as like a rule of thumb, these first children that are dying are going to be the most important to the plot going forward.
But a
Okay.
lot later.
Yes.
And there is the third that also gets transferred and has a much more drastic change.
Mm-hmm.
Circus Baby, after killing Elizabeth, Circus Baby had blue eyes. After the murder of Elizabeth,
Who had green eyes?
Baby's eyes are now green. And
Very interesting.
Baby,
Yeah.
because the animatronics are self-aware, they're given consciousnesses, kind of.
They have very
Okay.
refined
that's awesome.
AI for some reason.
They have
I'm
any
pretty sure.
AI, and that's weird, but don't.
Yeah,
think about it too much.
exactly.
But
Why would
yeah.
you do that and then make them suits?
yeah.
Yeah. Why would? Yeah. What? That's putting a.
Don't
Oh,
worry
that
about
was
it.
the endoskeletons that had the suits
Yeah.
Oh,
themselves
okay.
didn't have anything
Oh, okay.
until, but
These
we'll get into that later.
these animatronics were all made with the purpose of luring children for William to experiment on, because he has at this
Oh, what a
point gone
freak.
off the deep end. Yeah, he's a bit of a freak, but you know.
So why did
He is
he?
British.
What? Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's definitely rich. Like, Freddy Fazbear's must have been like.
No, I said
Insanely
He
British.
lucrative.
said British.
Yeah,
he
same
had a
thing.
lot of money.
Yeah, he did.
But
Yeah,
what
he
was your
lived in
question?
Buckingham Palace like all the other British people.
What was your question, Lily?
So how are children being lured with a puppet?
Ooh.
No, these are not puppets, but
So
They're not puppets.
the puppet was keeping them in. So
these are different flavors of clown animatronics.
kind of.
Honestly, I would not be lured.
So
I would not be lured.
Charlotte was
I'm
just kind of
smart.
like taken and then murdered.
Yeah, that's a different
Yeah.
scenario.
But we get into 1985 so we have the events of like Fazbear opening, Bite of 83, Circus Baby's death, and Charlotte's death. That goes directly into 1985 with the first missing children's incident. Taylor, do you wish to
Okay.
elaborate on what happens
Well-
in 1985?
Well, first of all, Circus Baby's Pizza World gets closed because
Yes.
the one child that got taken was the one child William didn't want to get taken. So he just kind of closes it down and blames it on like gas leaks. And
Oh, what the hell?
it is
dude.
now a rental service that is still technically like a thing, but there is no like physical location.
Adult
you
entertainment,
go.
3 question marks.
Maybe we
Strip
have not
club?
gotten have we gotten okay, there's like
That's
one
a fan
thing
theory, to be
implying
fair.
that, and that's probably not what was being implied, especially not by Scott Cawthon of all people.
Scott, so I'll explain that
Does
real
Scott
quickly.
Cawthon
Yeah,
not
go
like
ahead.
strip clubs?
Scott
he's just
Talkin
Christian.
is a very Christian.
Scott
very-
Talkin.
Scott
Have you
Cawthon.
watched Scott Talkin? I love Scott
Scott
Talkin.
Why are you advertising your show on your show?
Because I can, and you're my guest, and you're funny.
But there's a popular fan theory where after closing a Circus Baby's Pizza World and opening the rental service, that they were booked out for like adult
I wouldn't say
entertainment.
popular.
It's a popular fan theory. I feel like most.
It was. I think it was. I don't think anyone believes it anymore.
Oh, there's no lasting power. No, there
No.
wasn't lasting power then. It was just like
Sparky the
well-known.
dog has more relevance today.
That's because he was in the movie.
That's true, and that was my favorite cameo.
We're never
No.
getting the sister location porn movie.
It,
That's
it,
never
it,
happening.
it exists. Ben, it already exists.
No, I mean like
Let's be real
made by
here.
Blumhouse.
Oh no, that's probably not going to happen.
But anyway, Taylor,
Uh,
do you want to
The
elaborate
5
about the
missing
MCI?
children's incident. So, after the tragedies at the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza locale,
Okay.
the Fazbear Entertainment's in a bit of hot water, so to speak.
For killing
They should be
kids.
shut down. Realistically,
dead children. Yes, two
Uh,
dead children in that like span of time
I have to
is
interject here. 'Cause
devastating.
You said something incorrect. Fredbear's Family Diner closed. The first Freddy Fazbear's location hasn't closed yet.
Okay, yeah, I meant yeah. So they closed down Fredbear's Family Diner because of
children are dying in
issues.
there. It's not a
Because
family diner. If children die
well,
in a
you
family
know,
diner, it's like
still
a
a
Chuck E.
family diner.
Cheese.
But did people die at Chuck E. Cheese? That's a loaded
I don't know,
question.
but I was
Taylor,
never allowed to go to Chuck E.
I
Cheese.
said I know.
The first
I-
game theory.
Did you not hear me say that's a loaded question?
That is a loaded question.
So William decides to take another swing at kidnapping children and finding the key to immortality. So over the span
Oh,
of
man.
a few
Hold on,
weeks,
sorry. You know what this reminds me of?
Yeah.
That like billionaire weirdo who was injecting his own son's like teenage son's blood into himself to see if it would make him look younger.
Spider-Man? Is that Green Goblin?
No,
That's Green Goblin.
no, this is an actual man.
Oh, okay.
What?
Okay, anyway, moving on.
What? What? That's
Yeah, I
a thing.
can't
heard
remember
about
his
that.
name, but that's a real thing.
Yeah,
that
that is
somebody did
a
to
man.
He
They made
spends,
a
like,
Netflix. They made a Netflix series about him.
Yeah, he spends like millions of dollars to make him look like maybe 5 years younger than he actually is.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Bizarre. Anyway, Taylor, what
Anyway.
happened during the MCI of '85?
Through various means, old Willie here, tricks kids into into coming into the back safe room, which is used for putting on and taking off the Springlock suits, or it was before Springlocks got a bit of a bad rep.
Mhm.
So now it's not really being used for anything except for storing dead bodies.
Dead children.
5 dead children, to be specific.
God.
And their names are?
Gabriel, Fritz, Jeremy, and Susie, and Cassidy.
There you go.
Also Cassidy.
Cassidy's very
And
important later.
Cassidy's
Keep it
important.
locked away.
I've said Cassidy specifically at the end for a reason. But the actual like means of how these bodies ended up in the suits is debated. Either the puppet put them in there to grant them a second chance at life, or William Afton put the bodies in the suits to hide the bodies. I
think it's to hide the bodies, man.
I would say it's probably to hide the bodies. At the very least, that was the original intent.
Mhm.
I
mean, the puppet might be sentient, but like, how sentient are we talking?
Fully.
Pretty sentient, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fully.
It's like a spirit given physical form.
I would say the puppet's the only animatronic other than Baby that is fully conscious. Because all the other animatronics still act like animatronics.
Mm-hmm.
Baby and the puppet are fully sentient and fully populated by their like soul host, by that person, the child's remnant.
There are multiple remarks throughout the games, either mentioning or the puppet explicitly saying that they are at a higher level of intelligence or awareness than the large majority of animatronics.
Yeah.
So those animatronics that the kids were stuffed into were Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. Our favorite little guys.
And one
They have, and one more. Remember Fredbear? Do you remember Fredbear? Bryson, do you remember Fredbear?
Oh, how could I
You
forget?
talked about him earlier.
Yeah, Fredbear was decommissioned due to the little chomping incident back in '83.
The bite of '83, yeah.
But instead of
The
just
bite
like
of
dumping
83.
him at a dump, they just like put him in a back room. They're like, yeah, don't touch that.
They ripped the skeleton out of him and tossed him in the back.
Weird.
Yeah. So
This is the one where I think actually the puppet had something to do with it. I think maybe the
Probably.
other animatronics were William, but this one I think is the puppet.
which is funny because in the minigame that people use as like a point of contention, that's the only body the puppet did not walk up to and put a mask on.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Yeah.
the dead Golden Freddy suit is actually populated with another child's soul.
Yeah.
However, it is given another soul in Cassidy.
Yes.
Hold on.
Wait, what?
So Cassidy's
So there's
physical.
two shoved into one?
Yeah. So there's a physical body in one suit, and there's the soul.
There's a spirit inhabiting the body, but there's another spirit that is actually controlling, like, the physical part.
Yes.
Oh, very interesting. Okay.
It's confusing. I know.
Have you ever played Cyberpunk?
No, she has not.
It's
We
okay.
watched it.
You've seen Cyberpunk, Bryson. I was talking to you about how the reason V has the ability to implant himself with so much cyberware is because there are two consciousnesses basically inhabiting the body.
Yeah.
The same thing kind of goes for here because Golden Freddy has some spiritual attributes and haunting capabilities, teleporting, flashes of and hallucinations, what have you.
Yes.
And I, at the very least, believe that the reason for that is because there are two spirits inhabiting the suit.
That's what would make sense.
That does make sense in my mind.
Bless you, by the way.
Was that a sneeze?
Yeah, that was my sneeze.
You call that a sneeze?
Well, I'm sure that
What?
Fair enough.
The noise suppression software dampened the sound.
No,
No.
that's just how she sneezes.
What, just like at 2 decibels?
Yeah.
At 2 decibels?
Hey!
Hey, I'm so funny.
Anyway,
Wow.
So another round of dead children. Man, Fazbear Entertainment's in some real hot water right now.
well, and it results in a full-blown investigation happening. There are police.
Awesome.
There's people everywhere. They're looking for him. And what they
Oh,
note,
we forgot to. Go ahead.
what they note, and there was also complaints by some customers as well. But
Of
what,
smell, mucus, blood. You know.
Your pizza smells like mucus.
not the
Well,
pizza.
the robots smell like mucus.
The robots kind of smell
Oh.
like there's like potentially dead people inside of there. I don't know.
Oh, it smells like somebody died in here.
So they closed the store. They closed the first Freddy's location. They take,
But why didn't William get arrested? Well, he was arrested, but he wasn't charged. Why is that?
because he used
Injustice.
No, because he used the spare Bonnie suit to lure and kill the kids.
Yeah, we forgot to mention that William Afton is a furry.
Yeah, he's a furry.
He
No!
loves that. He loves that rabbit suit like crazy because that was the first one he made. He handcrafted his fursuit,
Yes.
and it's like how serial killers have like a specific bond with like the things they kill with. It's the
Yeah.
same idea. It's the same idea here.
Man, this gives furries a really bad rap.
Well, it's okay.
did that
They
to
love him
themselves as
anyway.
well. Anyway, so there's one kid that. So most of the kids were lured at the pizzeria, but there was at the
Mhm.
very least one where William went to their house and broke them out of their abusive drunken
Yeah.
father's home and lured
Oh.
them to the pizzeria just for them to be killed.
That is
That
the
is
likely.
so awful. What a
that is-
dickwad.
That is the likely thing that happened. However, I would like to posit. Can I talk about the theory that that's actually William, or is that too off topic?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, so he's referring to a minigame known as Midnight Motorist, where we see very similar events take place. And that specific minigame is like probably one of the like most like confusing parts of the entire series, just because like the person you play as is yellow, which people were really pissed off about because
Why?
he's not purple. You can
Why
only
would
be
you-
purple. It's
Oh.
not purple. So and then other aspects, just like it didn't feel like there was anything tying it to anything else, and it caused a lot of
Okay.
people to overthink and make crazy ideas about it, when in reality this is likely just one of the backstory to one of the kids,
Okay.
explaining what have you. But remember the fact that William Afton is British.
Yep.
Notice how
Colonizer.
William Afton is a fucking psychopath who has insane
Is he supposed to be
delusions.
Jack the Ripper?
No, that would be cool
Oh.
though.
There have been fan ties to that, but that's never explicitly stated in the
Yeah.
games.
Dang. I'm smart.
there is a lesser believed theory that this minigame is actually portraying William's household before he ran off and effectively joined the circus.
Okay.
The only reason this is debunked is the animatronic feat.
I mean, he could have ran off with his fursuit.
Yeah, maybe he was already a furry.
Okay, then why
Yeah.
was there a set of like child footprints and then also a set of animatronic footprints?
Well, he
It's like the-
obviously
I
he
have no
obviously
idea.
ran back. He ran back from somewhere, and then grabbed it. Like he ran off, and then he forgot it, and then he ran back and he grabbed his suit, and then he ran off with it on.
Maybe.
Anyway,
I like
there's
the
a reason
idea
this
that he
theory
lured
is
a
not,
kid out
like-
of their house.
Yeah, that's pretty obviously what it's portraying. People just overthink it, but I do like that theory specifically, and I think it's funny. That one of the main points of evidence is that in the like minigame portion before it, that's like an actual game. You're driving, and you're driving on the left side of the road, meaning that this would not be in America.
If
What?
when you go on the left side of the road, cars are coming at you though.
No, they're driving the same way as you.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, Ben.
Oh shit! I guess I need to replay that game.
I like just played Pizzeria Simulator.
I played a little bit of it for footage, and then I got sidetracked.
It's fire.
It is.
Fire.
It's probably
love
the
that
most
game.
realized game in the franchise.
Probably.
I have the chowder.
Anyway, where were we? They killed the kids in hot water again. This time, after
Oh
a year
my god,
long
I
search.
thought you were saying they boiled them alive, and I was like, the fuck?
What?
Okay, no, I understand what you mean.
It's actually that's a like fan made series that happens.
What?
Yeah, it's fucked up.
You people are weird.
No, they're weird. We're normal.
We're
Okay.
so
You're normal?
that was a
I'm
lot of
normal
information
from
we just
Garfield.
dropped on you.
That
Do
was
you
a
two have any
side tangent.
questions?
Yeah, how are you doing with this? Bryson, are you even paying attention, or are you still playing Terraria?
I am doing that, but I am also paying attention.
Oh, okay. So, what were the name of the children that died?
Michael Scott,
Oh, so close.
John Lennon,
Hmm.
Why are those?
He died
Easter
somehow.
eggs?
Paul McCartney,
The Beatles. Yes.
Are you
Ringo
just gonna-
Starr.
Are you going to say Michael Scott is the fifth Beatle? Is this
Yeah,
what you're
Michael-
going with?
This
No,
makes
Michael Scott is the fourth Beatle.
This
Ringo
perfect
Starr
sense.
is not the fourth Beatle. He deserves a higher ranking for all of the wonderful work that he's done.
Yeah, fucking Octopus's Garden.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a banger. What are you talking about?
Yeah, dude.
Nah.
He wants to be under the sea.
I don't know. I'm an Elvis guy, so I don't-
And then
care about the
Liam
Beatles.
Neeson in Ponyo.
Tanya.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened to George?
What do you mean?
George
Floor.
Harrison, the fourth Beatle.
That's a great question. What did
You
happen?
mean
to him?
Hammond?
Hammond.
No, that's the third member of Top
Top
Gear.
Gear.
I think you're mistaken.
Your
Ah,
idea
well.
of
Anyway,
why is your
after-
idea of the Beatles so convoluted
do you have any actual questions?
about the
No,
FNaF
man.
lore?
Okay, time to talk about FNaF 2, the second game in the chronological order,
Shoot
which is
ahead
a
Okay.
miracle.
to 1987,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh no,
what we get is the
we get
opening.
his.
Wait, shouldn't Sister Location be between that?
Sister Location's in the late 90s.
But doesn't
The events of Sister Location's mini games happen in the 80s, but which we talked about, Elizabeth's death. But Michael goes back to it in the late 90s.
then why is he in FNaF 2?
I'm pretty sure he realizes that later, but he would also be infected with spaghetti between FNAF
No,
at some point.
Explain.
I'm sorry.
We'll get there when we
pretty
get
sure
there.
he
We'll
only-
get there when we get there.
no, I'm pretty sure it's Sister Location and then FNaF 2 because FNaF 2 is only open for a week, 2 weeks. Like he couldn't go back after it closes down.
Okay, there are two schools.
I mean, you
this
can
is where
go
we're gonna
in the
get
building,
into it. We
can't
can
you?
either talk about Sister Location. There's two schools of thought. Sister Location happens in the 90s, and
There's
Sister
way more than
Location-
2 schools of thought.
There's the two main schools of thought. It happens in the 90s or it happens before FNAF 2.
I don't understand why does it have to happen in the 90s?
Because it's he would have resembled a purple figure by then.
Purple.
Also because
What?
it also
No, he just looks like
also-
his dad. His
also-
dad isn't actually purple.
also
His dad is
because of,
purple?
after
dad
Sister
isn't purple.
Location, Michael goes, "I'm gonna go find my dad."
Yeah, so he would go through all the different all the different locations.
Yeah, I thought that to be like, okay, he goes, like he searches around for a little bit and he can't find him because he's in the back room, and then it's FNAF 3. This timeline says it happens in 2023, which I know not to be the case.
Yeah, I don't know why you're
that's a
trusting the fandom wiki then.
I'm not on the fandom. I'm on something
What are you
else.
on then?
Something. Why? 4 of them say. Okay, we'll get to that later. We can talk about Sister Location if you wish. I like to think it happens later. We also didn't bring up the events of the week before, but that's fair.
You cut out for that entire thing. I have no idea what you said.
Okay. Everything I'm reading says that, well, except for this one. There's one. All the other ones say that Sister Location happens in the 90s. There's one that says it happens in the 80s. So it's up to you. We can either bring up Sister Location and have that lead into.
What do
FNAF 2.
you actually think happens?
I think it happens in the 90s.
I don't quite believe that. What other evidence would you provide for that? Because
What
my
evidence
evidence
do you have that
is
Sister Location happens first?
well, that implies that Sister Location is in business for much longer, which is hard to believe.
Sister
And
Location
also,
was just the
like,
was just the rental.
It's just like an underground factory
Yeah.
that I feel like that wouldn't have lasted into the 90s if it started in the early 80s.
I guess. I don't know. I don't.
Eat one.
Granted,
It doesn't matter
Freddy
too much.
Fazbear's Pizza realistically wouldn't have been open at
No,
all.
realistically,
and-
after 2 kids died, it would have shut down forever.
Yeah, we would
Yeah.
have never gotten the spin-off chain ran by
I don't know, dude.
Afton's kid. We never would have gotten that.
Yeah.
The best part of the franchise would have never happened if we were to believe and this has any sort of realism.
I don't know how I feel about the idea that Michael just sat on his ass for 5 years or whatever to before actually doing something.
Well, he got
As
the
well.
job at the FNAF 2. So
Circus Babies.
here's what I think. So Jeremy Fitzgerald.
Why would he have gotten fired for tampering with animatronics then? If he was just there.
Okay, well, because I think after Jeremy Fitzgerald gets nom-nommed, Michael gets the job
Nom-nommed.
to replace Jeremy Fitzgerald, and he starts to sniff out, ooh, there's something afoot. Because why would Michael
Then-
know anything about what happens after his brother
Why
dies?
is he sniffing feet?
Because he had gone to
'Cause he is-
Sister Location.
Because he is Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, but what
I
sent
see.
him to Sister Location?
His dad? I found her. She was right where you said you'd be.
I guess. I still think it
Anyway.
happens after everything else.
It doesn't matter too much. Let's just talk about FNAF 2 and then circle back around to Sister Location.
Yes. So
So, Fazbear Entertainment, the main character.
the main character,
The main
Michael is the
character
main
is a
character,
company.
except for this. Game.
Obvious. We'll get around to that. Yeah, main character of this game is Jeremy Fitzgerald. This is keep track. This is the
Okay.
second Jeremy of the series.
Yeah. So
First one died, put in the Bonnie.
There's 2 Jeremys and 2
This is
Fritzes.
Jeremy Fitzgerald, and 2 Fritzes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza opening. It opens in 1987. They have a new line of animatronics called the Toy Animatronics. These
Which
being
again, in the 80s, how the fuck were these real?
Okay, so these are, I believe, plastic. With like
It looks like plastic, maybe like porcelain though.
yeah, that's possible.
Tyler, do you have anything to say?
He's
He
busy.
does. Thank you, Chowder, for your input.
Third guest, Chowder.
This is like when
Wow.
Gus showed up for 4 minutes.
It was less than 4 minutes.
That's true. It was like 4 seconds.
He walked up, barked, and then you threw a pig, and he chased it.
I get you. So Freddy Fazbear, the new and improved, opens with the toy crew with Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, whose beak can remove for some reason.
For
Toy
fun.
Freddy, and you got Mangle, which
Was meant to be a new version of Foxy, but for some reason, they are very easy to take apart and mess around with, like a Lego character. So
Hell yeah.
it becomes
Why they're called
a
Mangle? You can mangle them.
called Mangled. Yep, that's exactly right.
yes.
I'm so freaking smart.
You also have the puppets, Grand Return, and we have some little bastard named Balloon Boy who likes to steal batteries. I don't know
It's
We're
what
seeing Balloon Boy
It's
right now. Yeah,
Bryson!
that's Bryson.
Yeah.
JJ, who is you,
J-
who likes to crouch under the desk and do very little
Nothing.
else.
Literally nothing. It is a color swapped PNG and 2 pairs of eyes that look at you and kind of creep you out.
Very
That
fun
is it.
character
Yeah.
in FNaF World though.
Is she in FNAF Lore?
Yeah, JJ's
I
in
genuinely
FNaF
don't
World.
remember that. Okay.
Sorry, that's the FNAF game I've been playing the most as of late.
Right.
And then oh shit, so it's Papa. Oh, and the old condemned
Withered. Well,
the old
they are
condemned.
just the old animatronics, known by the community as the Withered animatronics, but technically they're just the same ones.
So Fazbear, Fazbear Entertainment has this funny quirk of just
You could call it that.
putting the old shit with dead kids in it in a back room.
Yeah, just in case.
So
Keep doing
I
that.
might need it later.
Yeah.
Why?
yeah, they
They're
might
like a
need to
hoarder.
open a whole new
They
store
cut-
using the old ones.
They cut like 3 corners and leave 1 uncut.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I
Their
like-
business, the fact that they stayed in business for as long as they did is genuinely like, it should be like a masterclass.
I've always
A
appreciated.
masterclass of how to run an insane business.
Well, if you
Yeah.
want to know what else is weird, they basically have a room for the children to go into. You can go into this room, and there is a animatronics basically writhing corpse on the ground, and they can just rip it apart.
Yeah,
they
that's
can play
Mangle.
with metal scrap. That is what Mangle is.
That's their
You
idea
know,
of
like,
a fun children's place. It was called Kids Cove.
Okay. I think a freak would have fun with that. But
Yeah, that sounds like
it's like a rage room. It's like a rage room.
Yes.
Yeah, for children, because they have to
Hell
deal with
yeah.
taxes.
They have to go. "Rrrr."
Oh, I hate things.
Children
Like
do have to
you.
deal with taxes.
I didn't know that, but good to know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
I almost went into a somewhat political rant about my thoughts on minors being taxed. Anyway,
Okay.
Freddy Five Bear. So
Freddy
the
Bear
Freddy
5.
Five Bear?
1987, the FNaF 2 or the second location opens,
That's
and
the God of 87?
we're getting to
The
this.
the night guard is none other than William Afton for the first week.
Oh, that's
For
true.
fuck's sake!
Yeah,
Who
we have
keeps
to
letting him
cover-
in these places?
Well,
Okay, so he's not been charged for anything.
yeah, because he
And,
used
you
this
know-
spring bonnie suit, and there was no evidence that he ever used it. He was able to get away with the crimes completely scot-free.
And
I
it should
hate
be
this
noted that
man.
the incompetency of Fazbear Entertainment is genuinely like probably like the best thing Scott could have done, because it makes things like so easy to write about. You can just say, oh yeah, Fazbear Entertainment, they're kind of dumb.
They're about as
And-
incompetent as the Umbrella
Stupid.
Corporation in Resident Evil. Like
Something like that.
they're just like genuinely bafflingly stupid.
It's incredible.
And it's mostly because William is hiding somewhere and Henry is contemplating suicide.
Pretty much.
Oh.
Anyway, the events of
He wrote some books.
Did
What
I?
if Henry wrote all the books?
I'm not writing.
That'd be awesome.
But anyway,
So-
so before Jeremy gets hired, and while the security guard is still Mr. James Afton.
Don't you mean Bill?
No.
Bill
um,
Afton.
Shut up, Ted. There's Bryson's pop
bonehead.
culture reference that he gets.
Yeah, I got that one.
He pointed
Yay,
to the,
Bryson.
he got very excited and he pointed to the screen and goes, "Oh, I get that one."
No, he's playing
Ooh.
Terraria.
Right, it's from
Aw,
Superbad.
man.
Oh, that's a very good movie as well. Anyway, so the second missing children's incident occurs.
Yeah, I thought
Cool.
the bodies were found. Or I thought they were found.
They were, but not immediately.
Well, they were killed. They were.
Oh,
people call this
know.
one. People call this one either the dead children's incident or the killed children's incident. I don't remember which one.
Let's call it MCI
Either-
2.
Both?
I think I
'Cause
DCI.
they're
Dead
dead?
children's incident.
Okay.
DCI.
Whatever.
Well, they don't know that the first. Well, hang on. The first missing children's incident. That's only alleged. They never found the bodies, so they could still be
Mhm.
alive, in the eyes of the law.
Yeah, but they're missing. That's why
Okay.
it's called the missing children's incident, not the dead children's
Yeah.
incident, Taylor.
That's what I'm saying.
Isn't it like the first 48 hours they're probably dead?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But you have the
But
the, the second
Idaho.
you have the
Not
second
Idaho.
incident.
This is in Idaho?
Is it Idaho or is it Nebraska? Or is it neither? It's Colorado. It's Colorado.
Those are
It's
multiple
Colorado.
states that are not each other.
I know. I was thinking. It's Colorado.
Okay.
So, Colorado. Shit. They.
For real.
The kids. Something bad happens to children. But they're not found immediately. So they have another week of business hours. But William, has noticed that the animatronics have caught on to his shenanigans, and so he complains about workplace conditions and gets moved over to the day shift. So now he is
Okay.
no
So it's
longer the night
5
guard.
days
They
at
need-
Freddy's.
something like that. It's day shift at Freddy's. So they need a new night guard. Who better than our good friend Jeremy Fitzgerald, who we've never met before?
Oh, this guy. Other
This guy.
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Yes, other
Fitzgerald.
Jeremy. He kills it. He plays the hardest, like, other than Ultimate Custom Night, he plays through the hardest FNAF game to actually beat. Does that for 6 nights straight and survives. Good for him. For his efforts, he gets moved over to the day shift, where none of the animatronics are acting right, either during the day or nighttime, and he is told to keep close to the animatronics to make sure nothing bad happens.
Terrible idea. They're gonna eat him.
Pretty much.
Oh, you
this
caught
was
on very quickly.
this was a birthday. This was the last event they had of the of their like being open before they go on an indefinite hiatus, which is code for
Okay.
closing down.
Mhm.
And yeah, presumably Mangle chomps down on Jeremy's face, bites up his frontal lobe,
Is that the point of
and
87?
that was the bite of 87.
But because he is not a
Jeremy-
child, he survives this.
Yes,
What?
he survives. Yep, exactly. He does not die. He may be
What?
a shell of his former
I
self.
can live without my frontal lobe.
It's true. We've
Okay.
tested. We've done numerous tests. Yeah, he may be a vegetable, but he didn't die. So good for Jeremy.
Oh.
And in
I would
comes
rather.
Mr. Fritz Smith. So Jeremy,
One more fun fact about
Okay.
Jeremy that I just remembered. So the original Jeremy, the kid that died, went into Bonnie, and in FNaF 2, he is missing his face. Presumably, in Jeremy Fitzgerald's case, his face also got bitten off. So that
Oh.
is another running theme you should hold on to. Jeremy's
people's
lose their
Being bitten off?
faces.
Jeremy's lose their
specifically
faces.
lose their faces.
okay.
I
very
wonder what
funny.
happened to Fritz's.
Yes.
Oh, so you were Mr. Fritz Smith, who is actually
Yes.
secretly Mr.
Michael.
Michael Afton. Mr.
What?
Michael Bangs on Door Afton. He starts fucking with the animatronics, trying to investigate the crimes of his father, because his dad, he's kind of oh shit,
Weak.
this guy's a real jerk.
He's a bit of he's a quirky character.
Yes.
He also smells bad. That's
Well,
important.
That's okay.
Oh,
It's
okay.
important to note that he smells bad. That was one of the reasons he was fired.
Because he
Yeah.
smells bad.
Okay,
His two
'cause he
reasons for
smells bad?
being fired were tampering with animatronics, odor.
People use that as a lore detail. I think that's just a joke.
It's a
I think it's
joke,
just
but
because he
like
stinks, dude.
it's meant to tie FNaF 1 and 2 together as that person. That's really all it
Okay,
does.
That's true. And speaking of FNAF 1,
What did we miss sister location, brother?
we're gonna keep
Yeah.
Sister Location for part 2.
Okay, awesome.
We're gonna start with it though. We'll appease you.
Okay.
We'll start with it because we'll
I
actually.
just really want to talk
technically-
about sister location, man.
We have to talk about we have to briefly touch on FNAF 4 because that kind of leads into Sister Location if Michael theory is correct.
You want to explain what Michael theory is?
No, we'll talk about
Yeah,
that
what
next
the hell
time.
is Michael Theory?
They're
Oh,
very
okay.
confused.
Anyway.
Right, Bryson?
Oh yeah.
The fact that he
This
goes,
fucker.
oh. He goes, oh.
He's not even paying attention.
I know.
No, I am.
You just clearly. You've asked so many good questions.
Michael theory. It's like string theory.
Pretty much.
No, it's not.
It's kind of the same thing. String theory is that thing in SpongeBob, right? Where he unravels the universe with a string.
I don't.
Basically.
That's basically what Michael does.
Sorry, the thing in SpongeBob is just funny.
But
Yeah, is that thing in SpongeBob, Ned Flanders.
Speaking of
Cool, cool,
Michael
cool.
Schmidt,
Cool.
sorry, I said Schmidt. That's what
Did,
he's
that's the
called now.
movie. That's in
What?
the movie.
That's also in the game. That's his paycheck.
Yes, he goes by Michael Schmidt because it is a very generic name. And the Afton name does not have very high stocks right now.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Don't know why that is.
So there's this little before Michael Schmidt gets there though. There's this little silly character, who may or may not be a phone. But
Something like
at
that.
this
Wow.
point, we've been avoiding talking about a lot of people's favorite character.
The phone guy?
Phone guy, yes, Mr. Hello, hello, hello.
He
Hello,
only says it
hello.
3 times.
Hello, hello, hello. Anyway.
He is working, right? And he's doing pretty well. His first night, he's recording, night 2, he's recording. I don't actually know if that's actually synced up with his nights. It's synced up with Mike's nights.
He's recording them in the future for the future.
Scouter?
Yeah, they're training tapes.
And we should say this is the original Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Yeah.
He's just a night guard making sure no vandals get in. This is a
Okay.
closed down restaurant. There are
Okay.
no And that does
Well,
make
no-
his phone calls a little weird.
No. The FNAF 1 location is because they fixed up.
Oh,
all
no,
of
you're right,
the-
you're right,
of
you're right,
the
you're right.
Withered animatronics.
You're right.
Ditched the kids.
I heard something else.
Yeah, no worries.
It's the kids.
Yeah, they ditched the dead kid bodies. Or
Awesome.
they decayed in the suits. I don't really know. The
I like
kids are
to
not there.
imagine. I like to imagine when they were taking apart the animatronics for in FNAF 2, they like opened the hatch and they saw the kid and they're like, ew, and then they closed it back up.
Or they just saw some like
Ew.
puddle. They saw a puddle
Gross.
of like where
Yuck.
the kid was. And they're
Icky,
like,
dude.
It's like
That
that
is
John Mulaney bit.
Mop it up.
Gross. Mop it up. Now then.
Anyway,
Oh,
so
crap.
the original locations opens one last time with the original suits fixed up and ready to go. And
Yeah.
in comes Mr. Phone Guy. This is another thing. Phone Guy and Crying Child don't have names. Neither do any
Yeah.
of the second children's incidents kids.
And people think that both the phone guy and the crying child's name might be Ralph, and I think that's funny.
Yeah.
Ralph.
And all the kids in the FNAF 2 murder chain.
They're actually also
named
named Ralph. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of them
Every-
are named
It's
Ralph.
insane.
Every character that doesn't have a name is Ralph.
It's Ralph. Yeah,
Ralph.
pretty much.
And
It's
That's
very
awesome.
convenient.
anyways, he works there. We're now at FNAF 1. This is the events
Yes.
of FNAF 1
Yay!
after
The third/4th game in the franchise,
yes,
chronologically.
soon to be 5th or 6th or 4th or 6th.
You're
Whoa,
right. That's
4th
true.
or 5th because Secret of the Mimic, but that's
Yeah.
not canon yet. It hasn't happened.
It hasn't happened, so it's not canon.
There's not much to touch on with FNAF 1. Phone Guy dies in this one, and it's very sad.
Oh,
And this goes into a personal theory that I have, and I'm sure multiple people have it, but I thought of it without reading it, really. It is so... We have to touch on Remnant.
Explain Remnant. You explain Remnant.
So Remnant is basically what happens when a person's soul infuses with metal. If you heat it
Okay.
up enough, you can like change its properties. So like it becomes malleable. But if you overheat it, the soul dies and the metal melts. And I don't think it's very important how the soul transfers to the metal. It's basically if a body dies and then as its soul is leaving the body, it touches metal. That metal becomes infused with a little
It is
bit
quite.
like
of
It's
dead
quite
person.
literally.
like the brother in Full Metal Alchemist.
No.
I've never
So-
seen that.
Okay.
So,
Also,
like,
they wouldn't
It's
know.
quite literally the remnant
Oh.
of a person
Yes.
infused into metal. That's the extent that like really matters. You can get down to the nitty gritty,
Okay.
but then you look like a dork.
Well, and that's what this podcast
Okay.
is about.
We're not dorks. We're
Dorks?
very cool and popular.
I'm a dork.
Okay, well, I can't sit with you at the lunch table then. I'm sorry.
You don't sit with me at
The
lunch
lunch
anyway.
table.
I know. We didn't even sit at a table in high school.
No, that's true. We sat on.
Oh yeah, I
the
sat on the floor.
We all sat on the floor because the floor is awesome.
We're all
Yeah,
floor
floor is awesome.
dwellers. Anyway, so
Floor dweller.
phone guy dies, right?
Yeah.
And
Wah
it's
wah.
I think that it's totally possible that when he died, he like poked the phone or whatever.
He died on the phone, so yeah, he was probably like very
Poking the
near
phone?
to it.
So yeah, but he could have used speakerphone because that would explain how you very vividly heard the animatronics and not just like.
I mean, you could have still. It wouldn't. It doesn't. Speaker wouldn't make the input any louder, right? It would just make the output louder.
Well, it would make
Mhm.
everything around like so you could still hear like Mr. Phone Guy there, but you could also hear everything else that's going on in the room a little better. Because like the banging on the door, unless it's louder than he is, which after you hear Foxy bang on the door, it's muffled somewhat.
So do the animatronics kill Phone Guy?
Yes.
Okay.
So here's why.
Probably.
No, they do. Because you hear
Uh.
Freddy go, "Bah," or Golden Freddy go, bah, and then he dies.
Yeah. I mean, like it's not confirmed whoever it is, but it's almost definitely Golden Freddy.
Yeah, because it's the Golden Freddy sound that kills him. But
I should read the week before.
We
That'd
should-
make
we should
this
both
part a
read
lot
that.
easier.
yeah,
We should do that on the podcast. That'd be funny.
that'd be fun.
Like an audiobook?
Yeah.
Pretty much. but a shitty audiobook because it's a choose your own adventure.
We just read page by page.
No.
And then argue about it.
That
It's like
would
the
be
Where's
funny.
Waldo audiobooks.
Yeah.
A man
Waldo.
in a
I love
striped
those.
shirt,
I see
a
him, I
woman
see
in
him.
a yellow jumper. Waldo.
Waldo.
Anyway, so phone guy
Yeah.
dies and he's the phone now. And no one knows what happens to the phone. It's also possible part of him's in the fan, and that's why the fan keeps showing up in other games, but that's unimportant.
I don't think it was a thing. You're going off the deep
I think
end
that
there.
that's because it's a security room and it needs a fan.
Yeah, it shows up in a child's bedroom, though.
The fan is like objectively not an important fact that it shows up in every game. It is just
But it's
like
the same
setting.
fan.
People
It's
are
the
so
same
paranoid.
fan model.
It's not the same fan.
Yeah,
It's the
because the
same
fucker,
fan.
it's a dude making all of the games.
You think
Yeah,
he
but
has
he
gonna be
time?
changes
the
the
same
animatronics
fan.
for no reason. He changed Springtrap's design for no reason.
Yeah, because you're gonna look at it. He probably isn't thinking like, oh, they're gonna notice this fan model that I'm reusing.
No, I noticed it, and I think it's
Yeah, but
there's
that's
a
'cause
little
you're a
bit of
nerd.
remnant. There's a little bit of phone guy remnant in the fan, and also in the phone. Phone guy is the phone. It explains the night 5
But
phone
so he
call where it
touched
communicates
both
with
of them while he was
That could
dying.
also.
'cause he's
Why
like,
is he
how did-
touching
'cause
both
he-
the phone and the fan?
You know when you fall asleep on your desk and your elbows are out? His elbows were touching both of them.
Oh my
That-
fucking god.
That could also. Night 5 phone call could also just be because it's in a haunted building.
I
don't-
think it's phone guy's last communication with the mortal realm, as he is
Sure.
now a phone.
Sure,
That's
man.
so deep.
He's now a
Keep
phone.
telling yourself
Phone
that.
guy became a phone.
He has become phone.
I have now become phone caller
Phone.
of men.
I'm now becoming
Call it.
phone.
That's
Anyway,
fire, dude.
so Mr. Mike Schmidt comes in and he's like, "Yes, I am the security guard now." And
I am the phone.
there's this funny little quirk with the animatronics where now they just think that you're a endoskeleton out of your suit.
So they try and like give you a hug and absorb you.
They try to stuff you in a Fazbear suit and your eyes pop out of the suit and it says game over.
Hey,
In theory.
No, that's what happens.
That's just a theory.
Yeah.
That's what
That's the
happens.
game
That's what the
theory.
game
In
over
theory-
screen is.
No, in theory, I mean, like, it doesn't actually happen to you.
Not canonically, but if you fuck
Yeah.
up in the game, it shows you that's what happens.
That's what I mean by in theory.
But that's not a theory. It's a non-canonical
So-
ending.
Theory. Thanks
Whoa.
for listening.
But anyway,
Any
yeah.
who's it's.
So Fazbear's, Freddy Fazbear's open for 7 days.
Freddy Fazbear.
And it sucks. It's trash. It's a bad location, and they close it.
Pretty much. You hit the head on the nail there.
And
it's the nail on the head.
this is going to be what caps
Shut up,
off
Kyle.
chapter 1 of our timeline deep delve.
Yes.
Mr. William Afton dares show his face in the original Freddy's location.
Yeah.
He shows
Wow.
up and in a fit of either drunken stupor or rage. I don't know if stupor is the right word, but he is very agitated, and he goes and he starts dismantling the animatronics one by one.
Unless he was trying to figure out how they worked, which is also a possibility.
That's also true. That's totally what could happen.
the
Regardless,
the
he
intentions
is-
behind him dismantling the animatronics is not clear.
but he is dismantling them regardless.
Yes, correct.
And while the 5 kids are now out of the suit, well, I guess it's alleged that Cassidy just showed up in the suit and they made it the dead kid for simplicity's sake. Doesn't really matter. The 5
Yeah.
kids are now out of their suit. And who can see them but Mr. William Afton?
Oh, for
The
the
kids
love.
chase
He's just
him.
gonna kill him again.
The kids chase him into a corner. Well, they're ghosts.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Just
That's
like
scary.
love, they can never really die.
Oh, okay, shut the fuck up.
Oh, that was a specific reference.
It was to what?
Taylor,
What are we talking about?
I just
5 Nights at Freddy's.
I referenced Lord Huron.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You don't know Love
Who's
Like
Lord
Ghosts?
Huron?
Ben, you're a much bigger fan of Lord Huron than I am.
Oh,
I don't know if that was clear or not, but
Okay.
I'm sorry to break it to you on the Scott Talking podcast.
No, that's fine. I
Yeah, it's
realized I
cool.
liked it so much more than you. That's all right.
I'm really glad you like it. It makes me happy.
What is Lord Huron?
It's a really cool. We listened. That's all I listened
Well-
to while we were driving last time we went up north.
Right. Lord Huron and Savior?
What is it?
It's a
band.
folk band. It's a folk band.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a band. Oh, okay.
That also has
gosh.
lore.
Yeah.
My two favorite bands
Interesting.
have lore.
Yo.
And my favorite game
No.
series has lore.
Faux shizzle
Just
My
like
dizzle.
lore,
favorite
yeah?
VR game has lore.
Whoa.
I just really like lore. Anyway,
Yeah.
so the dead kids, they all circle around him, and he's kind of freaking out, right? Like Mr. Afton, he's having
Yeeking
like
out.
a bit of a panic attack, so to speak.
Hmm.
He's spazzing out.
He's kind of low on options right now. He's being basically cornered by these spirits.
And what's in the back
His
of
own
this?
fault.
And what's in the back of this room that is, I should add, is leaking water, like from the ceiling. It's a dark and rainy night.
Yeah, it is a dark and stormy
Right
night. Go
now.
figure.
In the depths of my trailer.
So he sees his old Spring Bonnie suit
His accomplice
That
to his
has-
murders.
who's been lying there for years at this point.
Why did they keep it?
Because
Maybe they needed it for later. You never know.
wasn't this in the
Or
back
the love.
room?
Yeah, it's in the. Oh yeah, no, yeah, you're right. It's
This
in
is
the safe
back-
room.
This is in the back safe room where they keep.
And
shit.
after that first Springlock failure incident, all of the safe rooms got sealed up.
Actually, isn't it after this happens, Taylor? Which is why he
I
can't
don't-
get out until FNAF.
Oh, because maybe it happened at some point. I thought for
I'm
some reason
pretty
he
sh-
like broke it open, but I think you're right actually.
No, I'm pretty sure it gets close because of this. So he gets
Yeah.
the suit, but it's leaking water everywhere. And do you remember what happened on the bite of 83?
Yeah.
Humor
Some
me.
guy put some.
When a
Wasn't it like two bullies put a little kid's head? Wasn't his name Jeremy
No, that was
into
no,
that?
different
No?
Jeremy.
doesn't matter.
No, it's just a crying little bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
He doesn't
baby
have a name.
baby tears make the head go crunch. So when God cries, you can only assume what would happen.
And every spring lock in that fucking thing, not pretty much simultaneously. Not like in
Yeah.
the movie where it's one by one. I'm pretty sure it's simultaneously.
It's fairly everything kind of crunches down at once into
and,
him. Basically, the to like picture it, the endoskeleton gets forced into his body,
yes.
Interesting. Okay.
The endoscope
which
gets
causes a
forced
little
in his-
bit of blood loss.
I would
he's
assume.
basically sitting in a
Minor
pool
blood
of his
loss.
own blood.
But it is important to note that in the minigame, he never stops moving.
He's always twitching.
Ew.
Yeah.
And that is the end of chapter 1 of the timeline, unless there's something else Taylor wants to touch on.
No, that covers it.
That covers it. All right, class, any
Cool.
questions?
When is Gregory coming?
That's later.
Oh, dude,
Ah!
like a decade or two later? Or 3?
But you should take some notes here if you're interested about Gregory later, because we have some things we need to talk about that involve some characters from this.
That's not till later.
Gregory.
I know it's not till later, but still.
I don't even know if we'll get to it in chapter 2.
You're
chapter
no,
2 is pretty
you're
hefty.
no chapter 2. In my mind, I think I know where chapter 2 is going. I see 4 chapters.
Okay.
I don't know what you're thinking.
I'm thinking 3, and then whenever
I'm
the
thinking
new stuff happens.
The next chapter would be FNaF World, FNaF Sister Location, and FNaF 3. And then like any other like interstitial things, because that would be the smallest chapter in my head.
Okay, I could see that. But anyway,
Yeah.
Lily, do you have
This
any
was a good
questions?
first chapter.
I think I pretty much got it. I think I got it.
Bryson?
Okay. Bryson,
Nah, I'm good, man.
Okay.
I was so glad we could have you on here.
Yes, thank you for
Yay.
coming on.
It's truly an honor.
Learning about FNaF.
FNAB.
Yeah.
FNaF.
Five bears.
FNaF.
Five
There's
bears at night.
only one. Wait, there's 2 bears.
There's
Well,
like,
hang on.
oh,
There's a couple.
There's like
we'll
7.
get
you,
into
are you
this.
gonna talk about that?
Each line they make is like a new
Yeah.
bear.
New bear.
If we have you on for chapter 2 or 3, we'll get into that. But we might
Yeah.
get new guests on
Cool.
potentially.
Yes.
Potentially.
Yeah. But yeah,
That
that's
that
all
does
we
it.
have. Pretty
Wonderful.
much.
Yeah. Do you have any
Thank you for
FNaF
having
lore
me.
you want to add? That's a funny joke.
Comment
No.
in the comments below what you think
Yeah.
your ideal timeline is, and what
What did we
exact
completely
scent
up?
the Jeremy Fitzgerald smelled like after his head got bitten.
Who smelled better, Fritz Smith or Michael Schmidt?
Michael Smith.
I said Mike Schmidt.
Michael Smith.
Michael.
Do you think the pizza's
Kevin
any
Smith.
good?
No, I'm
No,
pretty sure it's like
terrible.
canonically very bad.
If security
She's
breaches
so
anything
real.
to go off of, they just slap it on a pizza and it gets nuked.
Something like that, yeah.
Do you think this will happen to Chuck E. Cheese?
Will this affect the trout population?
Yeah. Yeah, guys, comment how this affects the trout population.
That's the most excited you've got this whole episode, Bryce.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
love trout, dude.
Trout is so cool.
If the trout population
If
is
there was
changed,
a trout animatronic,
and
then
the
Bryson
kids
would
are
pop
all
off.
dead in the suits, then who's running the pizzeria?
Then who's flying the pizza plane?
The pizza plane.
Who's
Oh,
flying
shut
the
up!
pizza
No,
plane?
no, 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 no! You're gonna make that happen. There's gonna be like there's gonna be
Dude,
the
that would be
Freddy
so cool.
Faz. There's gonna be the Freddy Faz airline, the Freddy Faz cruise line.
I wish.
Why would anybody go on those?
Because the Pizzaplex
For
is
a
very
good time.
profitable.
That's true. Somehow the Pizzaplex like was crazy lucrative.
And it was
What?
only really good until once Help Wanted 2 came out. But that's neither here nor there.
I think now a Pizzaplex would actually do well.
It's basically a shopping mall with animatronics that can
I know.
somehow.
Like a themed mall.
That's basically what Disney Springs is, but there's not really animatronics. at
Dude,
Disney Springs.
shut your Disney adult ash up. I don't even know what that is.
That's like a whole.
Yeah, what is that?
It's like a 5th Disneyland, or
Oh
sorry,
my
Disney
God,
World.
there's 5 of them.
So no, so there's
Jesus
in Disney
Christ.
World you've got Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios,
Epcot
Animal
Ball.
Kingdom. You got Typhoon Lagoon and the other
Epcot
music
these
park.
nuts.
You got the multi-level ESPN
Marketing scheme.
sports complex. You
Thank
have
God.
Probably some golf courses and hotels, and then you have Disney Springs, which is basically downtown Disney, if it was the size of Long Island.
Okay, but I'm talking about like a normal shopping mall that you don't have to pay to get into.
You don't have to pay to get into Disney Springs.
Okay, well, you also somewhere you don't have to go to Orlando to.
You have to go to Louisiana. I don't actually know where the Pizzaplex is.
You have to go to Colorado.
Is it in
Everything's in Colorado. I don't
thought it
know.
was
I like to
everything was
picture.
in Utah.
I thought it was Colorado. Is it Utah? Oh my God,
I thought it was Utah,
it is Utah. I don't know why I said Colorado.
but except for Into the Pit, which
Freddy
takes place in
Fazbear takes
Louisiana.
place in Utah?
Yeah.
So,
Really?
do you? I actually don't know what you think about this. Is Freddy Fazbear's Pizza a chain restaurant or is it just a local place? It's got to be local, right?
Local, yeah. It doesn't seem like it could get to chain level, you know?
Like they make
yeah.
a big deal about 2 restaurants existing at once, so I don't feel like
Well,
that
I
would
mean,
matter
it's
so much
Utah.
if there
They have,
was.
like,
I think
4
they tried to
places.
be a chain, but then like 800 kids died.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
It's
you
like
got
it-
like all the dead kids in one episode. You must feel
Yeah,
like incredibly
seriously.
lucky.
I feel so lucky. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
There's more dead kids, but they're not
Yeah.
important.
They're not very important. We've tapered off of the important ones.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
Thank God.
Yeah, no. the Fazbear Entertainment would make it like a major chain until after Help Wanted. So
Yeah, like some
when they
bizarre
have to clear the name
circumstances.
where they claim that Scott Cawthon just invented the dead kids and none of that shit actually
That's true.
happened.
They like reorganized it to like Fazbear LLC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed their name,
Yeah, now it's a major multi-billion-dollar corporation.
of course.
Well, I think it's funny
Okay.
though that Scott comes up in the lore twice.
What's the first one?
FNaF World.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Those are technically the same character too, which I think is funny.
So we'll get into
my
that in
God,
episode
is
2.
the ending of FNaF World like? Did Fazbear Entertainment like put a hit out and like send an animatronic to kill him?
I thought it was. Dude.
What?
Because everyone thought that was Henry for the longest time, but it can't be.
Yeah, it's not Henry.
Because he's in. We're gonna
We're
spoil
getting off
all
topic.
of chapter 2.
This is chapter 2 content.
Yeah.
We might have to we have to save this for like a normal episode where we're just bantering.
Yeah.
But
You want-
Episode 7.
yeah, for sure. Anyway.
Okay.
this-
Any lasting words?
Yeah, I like how it
Yes.
took you till episode 7 to finally start talking about like
It's episode
and
6,
explaining
shut
the
up.
lore. Or 6, but still.
Well,
we were busy talking about.
we didn't have an
Phoebe
audience
Cates'
who cared at
performance.
this point. Yeah.
Well, are we the audience who care now?
No,
I hope
I
so.
guess.
I mean, we want you to be,
Okay.
but this is mostly for.
You know, we're not gonna force you to,
yeah.
but we would definitely like you to watch other episodes.
And it
Okay.
can't just be in the car when we're getting burritos and we're all talking.
What?
Oh
It
man,
doesn't exactly pan out well,
Yeah.
especially when one of us lives in another state.
that's true.
What? Oh, I
Wow.
forgot.
Fuck, now I have to bleep that name out. God damn it.
Does he not want to be in it?
I don't know. I don't think
I
he'd
don't know.
appreciate me
Bryson-
saying his last name.
Bryson told me
There's like a million of them.
before this episode started he was gonna say a bunch of fucked up shit and then immediately afterwards tell you to cut it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
He honestly-
what were you gonna say though?
I don't even know. I don't have a plan.
he didn't have a plan. He was just pretending like he was gonna be participating, and then he
Hey, I
booted up
participated.
Terraria.
No,
Hey,
but Bryson, give me a taste of like the fucked
Yeah,
up,
give me some
horrible,
examples.
not safe for YouTube and Spotify shit that you would bring on my.
Oh, I
That's
wish
in his
William
brain.
Afton